Hello and welcome to the Turn Your Talent into Income Without Burnout or Hustle Masterclass. I am so excited to deliver a masterclass on this topic because it is one that is pretty near and dear to me. I have a lot of lived experience in this arena, and so I really am passionate about sharing this with you and helping you turn your talents into income. I see so many amazing, talented, really incredible creators in all arenas. Like, I am talking to my treat makers and my cookiers and my bakers and my lash artists and my creators and my crafters and my digital artists and my service-based providers that just do incredible things for people and maybe struggle to see the dollar amount in their bank account equal the amount of impact that they have. And I know a lot of people struggle to charge for their gifts and their talents, and there's a lot of reasons for that. And so I want to really jump into them. But before we get into anything tactical, let's do a little bit of housekeeping, and I want to set the context for this. So first things first, if you're jumping on live on Facebook, please say hello in the comments. Let me know that you're here. Say hello. Hello, hello. If you're catching this on the replay, drop a hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know that you stopped by. Feel free to interact with the video. I will do my best to come back and answer any questions that you might have and continue any conversation that you want to have. I also want to say a little something right off the bat that might be a little bit uncomfortable, because my goal for this masterclass is to help you see how you can turn your talent into income and help you identify in the areas that you may struggle to charge for it so that we can turn that talent into cash, baby. So if talent alone created wealth, everyone in the room would be wealthy. But it is not talent alone. The fact that you don't see the dollars in the bank account that match your talent is that nothing to do with your intelligence or your creativity or even your work ethic. And again, I know this because I have lived both sides. Okay. I built a career doing what I was supposed to do. I was competent. I was reliable. I was respected. And still, I wanted more. When I left that world, and I built a business with my two hands, my creativity, my ideas, I thought that would be the answer. And it was, till it wasn't. So first, hello, my name is Jackie Lopez. If you don't know me, my short story is that I had a baby in high school, graduated, went to college, got a 2-year degree and a paralegal certification, and I went to work. I thought that's what I was supposed to do. Go get a job, get qualified to do something, go work for 30 years and retire. This was life. The thing was, this life did support us over the years. It even made me feel successful. It gave us a good life. But I always wanted a little more than just enough, than just a good life. And in this world that we all woke up in today, the future seems a little less certain. We're no longer in the era where you can go get a job for 30 years and retire with a pension that supports you. I see so many seniors having to get a job because Social Security alone is not enough. The pension, the retirement, the 401k that you were able to save for yourself and invest in the market, it just isn't enough to combat the rising costs. And the fact that we shouldn't have to sacrifice after working our whole lives is really hard. So I am an analytical mind with a very creative spirit. And my analytical mind does not like rules that don't work, that don't make sense, that don't jive. Like, this is the system. We're supposed to go to work really hard, put away what we can for ourselves, except life is really expensive and life, be life in. And so this is it. And then, like, in the later years of life, we're just supposed to deplete anything that we create for ourselves because we are going to need care later in life. And this system just really kind of bothered me. And I had always been creative. I had always been a bit entrepreneurial. Looking back in my life, I used to make beaded holiday ornaments and sell them at the bowling alley that my parents bowled at in a league on Friday nights when I was like 10 years old. And so looking back, I did always have this creative and entrepreneurial spirit within me. You might relate to that. You might immediately think of some of the things that you naturally do, instinctively do, are very talented at, and think, yeah, no, I've been doing that forever. I can't remember a time I didn't do that. It's so fun. I've always been doing this. And so even after dabbling in network marketing, which led me to personal development, which life has a funny way of getting us around, bringing the journey back around to where we need to be and getting us back on track, right? I was working in my job. Things had changed there. Management had changed. My boss had gotten sick. Things were different than they were. And I was kind of looking for what was next. I happened to also get a Cricut craft cutter that Christmas. And this sparked a little something within me. I got back into being creative. I stepped away from analytical Jackie and I started to have fun again creating. I built a product-based business from scratch doing that. Orders came in. People supported me. People loved what I made. And then I got fired from my job. And I really didn't want to get another one. And so I decided, let's go all in on this. I replaced my salary. From the outside, it looked like success. It even felt like success because I had tied the concept of success to money so deeply from coming from where I came from and having the need to make money be so prevalent in life that it really felt like success. It was like, I found another way to do this. I found another way to be successful and I'm using my talent to do it. This was an incredibly eye-opening thing for me. And I'm really grateful for the people who came before me in all areas of life. When I was dabbling in network marketing and trying to figure out how to like go diamond in my company, I found someone in the personal development world who changed my life because she was an example of something else that was possible that I didn't even know anything about. I had no idea that that was even a possibility in life. And then when I met someone who was living that, a whole world opened for me. And so when I started creating again, I found the craft world and I found someone in the creative space who also was an example of what was possible. She was making 4 figures a month in the craft world. And I thought, this is incredible. Let's do this. So I worked as hard as I could work. And I kept up this pace for months. I was replacing my salary. We were, we could pay the bills. Things were good. I was getting orders. People were loving things. Like the experience was positive. But I was growing tired, my friend. I was working as hard as these hands could work. And I was tired. And nobody warns you about that part. Like the goal in the beginning is just to get some orders, get some work, get some clients. But there comes a point where we have to factor in the sustainability of the way that we're doing things so that we can continue to grow. And this is the difference between dabbling in a hobby and turning your talent to income. Being talented and using your income to become sustainably wealthy are not the same thing, right? The good news is there's just a few degrees shift. And so I really want to help you understand where you might be feeling about this today. Again, the goal for this masterclass is to bring forth the reasons that you are not being paid for your talents in the way that feels good for you. And to help you shift and reposition yourself to turn your talent into income. Let me know in the comments if you're feeling that. I work with creative people every single day, women who are gifted, who are intuitive, who are skilled, who are admired. The feedback that they get is incredible. You're so talented. You're so amazing. I love your energy. I want to be in your space. And yet the money doesn't match. So what do? As heart-centered women, we try harder. We push more. We post more. We offer more help. We give more without receiving compensation. And before you hit me with the objection that may or may not be loud in your brain right now that says, yes, but We don't give to receive. No, we don't. And we get to be paid for our gifts so that we can give freely without needing reciprocation. Okay, they're two different things, two sides of the same coin, 1 degree shift. Stick with me, okay? Your talent starts to feel heavy when the business that you built for freedom starts feeling like chains. Hey, that's what happened to me. I built this business and it was great. It replaced my salary. It made the money. But I didn't have a spare moment. I was late for dinner Christmas Eve. I was frazzled. I was doing everything instead of like doing one thing really well. And looking back, none of that is sustainable. So before you start to shame yourself, you don't have a motivation problem, you don't have a consistency problem, and you probably don't even have a confidence problem either. Asterisk on that, we'll get to it. What you have is a problem translating your gifts into something you feel like you should be paid for. So let's talk about some of the reasons, and feel free to drop yours in the comments if you would like. Let's talk about some of the reasons that we struggle to charge for our talents. You might be struggling to charge for your talents because they come easy to you. It's super easy for me to do that. The advice comes easy, the talent comes easy, the crafts comes easy, it comes really easy to me. And somehow you've been programmed to believe that things that are easy aren't valuable. This is not true. People are naturally gifted. God gave you gifts, my friend. You think you shouldn't use them? Of course you should. Why should you only use them for free? You're charging for your experience, for your creative talents, for your organization skills, for your pattern recognition, for your decision making, for your confidence, you're charging for all the things that you bring to the table that make up this talent that beautifully serves. So if you're thinking, I can't charge because it's just easy for me, I want to challenge you to really dissect if that's the truth. Can we prove that in a court of law? Anytime your brain starts to challenge you, ask that. Can we prove that in a court of law? So you might be thinking, I just sit in front of the TV and crochet blankets. I sit and bead. I do it. I do my talent. I do my craft. I do it while I'm doing other things. So I can't charge for that. Also baloney. Your talent isn't small. You just don't believe in your ability to monetize it. So let's keep going. You might be saying, I'm not a salesperson. Salespeople have to be convincing. I don't want to have to convince people. But the truth is, no one likes to be a salesperson. What we like instead is to be able to share the things that we naturally love and let people decide if they love it too or not. And you do this for free with restaurants. So you've been conditioned to believe that you have to do it for free for your talents as well. Now, you're allowed to be talented at things and not charge for them. Okay, I recently helped host a baby shower for a family member, and many of us came together and contributed different things, different aspects, different talents that brought this together in a beautiful way. Some of the talents that I brought forth for this event, I don't charge for any of them, actually. I don't charge for any of those talents. Those are talents that I possess that I give freely. Okay, you don't have to charge for all of it. My point here is that you get to charge for it if you want to, and if it feels good to, and if it's a way that can genuinely change your financial outlook, which will allow you to do more, give more, support more, and have a bigger impact. So you might also be thinking, I don't want to have to sell because I don't want to have to live on social media. And I get that, my friend. Social media though is a traffic source. Okay. It's not a business model. And so what I would challenge you is that you lack structure, not talent. And so what if if we could organize your talent and your business in a way that feels good for you, makes you money, and doesn't require you to live on social media all the time? Would you be in for that? Let me know in the comments if you would be in. Because the reason most people let their talent and therefore their energy leak is because they don't know how to clearly communicate what it is that they're doing in a non-salesperson way. and or they just show up in full salesperson energy and then they burn out. Now, the other aspect of this is when we use our talents to make money, it's personal. Our talents are personal. They're part of us. And so let's talk about that for a moment. Let's dive into the identity of someone who charges for her gifts versus one who does not. Or not yet, anyway. And let me know if any of these personas are ones that you have tried on for size. The really fun thing about identity work is it's true in life and in business. It's work that we can do and use across the board, which is amazing. I love multi-purpose work. The thing about identity work is that if all you see yourself as is a crafter, if all you see yourself as someone who donates her scarves to the homeless shelter, if all you see yourself as is someone who just uses their little talent to make a few dollars or to donate, then it's going to be difficult for you to monetize that to a level that is any different. The identity work of who we are is very important, and important to not get stuck in our old identities as we're trying to grow. So a lot of us really want to grow. We have a goal to grow. We even maybe proclaim out loud that we want to grow, but we're still adopting the old identity that we associated with. The good news is you don't have to have just one. And I don't mean like multiple personality disorder identities. I mean that there are a lot of different facets of me. I love creating. I also love my garden. I love strategizing about business. I love helping women turn their ideas into money. I love hanging out with my dogs and watching sunsets. There are many different aspects that pull me together as me. And each one of them gets to have a different persona, and each one of them gets to come to the party, if you will, of life at the appropriate moment, right? If I bring highly analytical Jackie to the beach to watch the sunset, it's probably not going to be a very enjoyable time. The brain will be loud, on overdrive, thinking about all the business things. The conversation will not be rooted in pleasure and leisure and experience, but rather work, which my husband will not enjoy. I brought the wrong identity to the party. Okay, so let's talk about it. Like there's this starving artist identity. We've all heard of this one. But I'm an artist. People don't get me. I'm an artist. I create what I love. I create what I love too, and people buy it. You get to create what you love and people will buy it from you. You have to find the right people though. And that is a skill different than your talent, okay? Admittedly. It's one of the hardest parts about business is all the hats we have to wear. But again, having built a business from hustle, having built multiple product-based businesses now that were all successful, I can tell you that there is a way that we can organize your business so that you don't have to always be on, always be selling, worry about where your leads and things are coming from. And so the starving artist says, I can't create what I love and make money. What we say instead is, I get to be well paid for my gifts. Okay, another one, if you're blessed, be a blessing. I heard this a lot in network marketing. If you're blessed, be a blessing. I love that. I love that as a catchphrase, and I love that as a way of being. I believe it can be done on a large scale and a small one, right? When I had very little, I would put cans out in the mailbox when the post office would do, food collections for the pantries around the holidays. When I had a little more, I would adopt families through the local community for the holidays, for Christmas, to make sure that they had Christmas gifts. When we have more resources, we can be a bigger blessing. So please do not for a moment minimize your abilities, your talents, or your vision under the guise of, if you're blessed, be a blessing. If I'm blessed with this talent, I should give my creations freely. Or we can use your talents to monetize so that you have more resources in order to donate, give, make the impact that you desire to make, and really create the change and the things that you want to see in this world. It's a small shift, but it's a big impact, my friend. So looking at your persona, the starving artist persona, that if you're blessed, be a blessing persona, it comes easy, so it's not valuable. People won't pay for it. I do it in my spare time. I do it in front of the TV. I do it well. It's no big deal. Like, it's just pocket change to me. That's an identity that you can adopt that will keep you creating for fun. But I think you're here because you want more than that. I think you're here because you want to really take your talent and create some money with it. Create some side income for your family. Create grocery money. Create vacation money. Create savings in your account, in your bank account. Pay off debt. Everything and anything that you might want. And so really looking at the identity points and those shifts is the difference here. Again, I told you, my goal for this masterclass is for you to really understand where you might be undercharging for your talents and help you shift that. So if it comes easily, it must not be valuable. Here's the shift, my friend. Ease is evidence of mastery, not lack of value. Ease is just evidence of mastery. And just because it was easy for you to master something that isn't easy for someone else to master is more evidence you get to charge for it, not less. Number 2, I don't want to be salesy or pushy. Great. Selling is placement, not persuasion. The right people will choose you. No one cares if the coffee doesn't care if you drink tea instead. Like, it's fine. But we have to be sure that when we are selling our gifts, when we are selling our talents, we're not taking it personal if people don't buy from us, if people don't support us. I know that it can feel personally rejecting. And this is one that I want to take a moment with, okay? Like, deep breath here. When you're monetizing your gifts and people don't receive them, people don't buy them, people don't support them, it can feel personal. It can feel like we have done something wrong. It can feel like we are a failure. It can feel that way. But that's not the truth. The evidence, the data of that is that that person wasn't the right fit for that thing at that time. Okay? When the hottest sneaker company drops a new line of sneakers, they only care about the ones that sell. They don't care about the ones that don't. And it doesn't stop them from putting out the next line, next week, next month, next whatever. Amazon doesn't stop selling products because you didn't buy it. The truth is, the data is, that person wasn't the right fit at that moment. That's it. It doesn't mean anything about you. It's not personal. And when we can realize it's not personal, it's so much easier to truck on, to keep selling, to keep living our life. And really, that is the goal. The goal for every single one of my clients and for myself is joy, more joy in life. How can I create what I love, do what I'm already doing, and make money? That's what I love to do. That's what I love to help you do. And that is the ultimate goal with every business we build. Every offer that we build out is that you will love it. You wake up every day and you want to do it. You want to make it. You want to sell it. You want to create it. You want to offer it. You want to help with it. You want to do it. You love doing it. And then we go find the people that are a perfect match for the thing you love to do. And from there, we figure out exactly what they need to hear in order to buy it. This is not persuasion marketing. This is you showing up, being you, living your life, sharing your gifts, and allowing the right people to come. Every person who doesn't buy from you is a potential referral, is someone who can tell someone else about you, someone who can share, someone who knows what you do and is tucking it in the back of their mind for the moment where that information may become helpful and relevant. It's a bank on later. Okay. And on that vein, you don't need one more idea and you don't need to keep tweaking things. Preparation without decision is avoidance in disguise. Okay. Again, ask me how I know. Preparation without decision is avoidance in disguise. You're allowed to think it through. But at some point, indecision is a decision. Decide, execute, see how things go. It's scary. There's risk involved. You know what's also risky? Not changing anything. Because when we change nothing, we get the same results. And that is not going to lead us to the life we desire. That's not going to put more money in our bank account. And you know what else isn't going to put more money in your bank account? Shaming yourself. So if you're thinking, I should just be further along by now. Like, I should just know this. I should figure this out. Like, this is just annoying that I don't even know, like, what I'm doing. You're not missing discipline, okay? You've been conditioned to live and to believe things that don't support your current vision. That's it. A little structure, a little containment, a little support, and we can turn that right around. Okay, it doesn't matter how far along you should be. You are exactly where you are, my friend, and all roads lead to Rome. This is the journey for whatever reason. So we can enjoy the journey, or we can be on the journey and just have less joy. What are we doing? Come on, lock arms, let's go be magical weirdos together. Okay, if you're thinking, I know, but I can't live on social media. I don't love it. Creating content doesn't come easy for me. You don't need more visibility. You just need a clean path. Again, social media is a traffic source. It is not a business model. Okay, you don't have to live on social media. You can create core pieces of content that speak to the pillars of your business and then put them to work for you in a way that gets you clients over and over again, that gets you booked, that makes you money. Okay. If you're sitting here feeling like, I know I'm capable of doing more, I just don't really know what to do, I want you to hear something that I wish someone screamed at me a year ago, 2 years ago. Potential doesn't pay you, decisions do. The fact of the matter is, most of us don't move, don't do the things that we really want to do, don't give it the old college try because we don't want to be disappointed. The thing about that is when we don't really try, when we don't go all in and we keep getting the same results, we're kind of disappointed anyway, aren't we? So we put in all this mental gymnastics to not be disappointed, right? We talked ourselves in and out and round and not doing the thing because we didn't want to be disappointed if it didn't work out. But then in the end, we don't do the thing. And alas, we're disappointed. Disappointed in ourselves, disappointed in our results didn't change. And the bigger problem with that is not that you can't handle disappointment in your life. You do it all the time. The bigger problem with that is you begin to lose trust in yourself. Eek, gasp, heavy sigh. My friend, you have to trust yourself. And the way you trust yourself to make good decisions for you is by practicing. And by practicing, that means that things are not always going to go right. And the trick is how we hold ourselves in the meantime. So if we want to monetize our talent, but the first time we put it out there and it maybe doesn't go the way that we want, or we get a question that we weren't expecting, or there's any bit of any turmoil or controversy or waves or hiccups at all, we immediately feel like we need to retreat. We immediately feel like we need to take it personally. We immediately feel like yucky inside. We immediately feel like, oh my God, what did I just do? I want you to know that that's normal. And I want you to know that everything you've ever been waiting for is on the other side. Because at the end of the day, you can handle it. You can handle a little disappointment. You can handle feeling silly. You can handle even looking silly. You can handle a little criticism from people who don't get it. You can handle this. You can. And not doing it means nothing changes. But taking a risk on yourself, being willing to learn and grow and stick with it and keep moving forward and keep becoming better and better at your craft, at your talents, at being a human being, all the things in life that are important to you, and finding joy and happiness is everything in life. Using the things that you're already doing, your talents, to get paid. I mean, yes, please. So I'm going to take a minute to check in with the comments here. I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody who's live. And if you're live here, I want to say thank you. Let me know how this lands for you. What comes up for you around monetizing your talents? What comes up for you around dreaming big enough? Because that is part of it as well. Sometimes it's just really hard for us to see the vision. And for that, I am happy to be the example of what is possible for you. I love that aspect of dreaming big. I'd love to be able to help you see that that talent is worth more. It's worth so much to someone who needs and wants exactly what you have. And just because you don't see that, just because you can't, imagine the circumstance where that is the truth, doesn't mean it's still not out there. I mean, this is quite a silly example, but I was talking to somebody recently who was making money selling food on Amazon. And I thought, who would buy food on Amazon? And then I started seeing people who described multiple reasons that they buy food on Amazon, including being disabled, including being housebound, including recovering from surgery or illness and not being able to drive at the moment. So people have all kinds of things going on. People need and desire all kinds of things. People are in all different stages of life, of finances, of all the things. And so it's not our job to understand everybody. It's just our job to be ourselves, to chase joy, to use our talents, to make money so that we can be well-resourced and give and donate and do the things in the world that are most important to us. And that is something that I am truly passionate about. And if you're passionate about that too, then I'm excited you're here, that you're in the right place. All right, I finally got the comments up. Hello, my friends. Youth says it's hard to dream big. It can be hard to dream big, especially when the reality that you are looking at does not match the reality that you desire. My advice for that is to go find that reality. Go find examples of people who have what you want, who have it all, who are living the life that you desire in a way that you desire, and allow that to be the evidence that you can have it too. When you get stuck in what you think your reality is, this is such a beautiful thing to bring to the conversation. And that is why I spent half of this masterclass chatting about the identity of the person who charges for her talents versus the identity of the person who does not. Because that is the 2-degree difference in my opinion. In my opinion, it's belief. I believe I can or I believe I can't, and either way, I'm right. And so for that reason, I really encourage you to look at the different identity points, see which ones you really identify with, see which ones feel oofy for you. Like, yes, that's the one that keeps me. And really look at how we can shift that perspective. The entire goal of this is really to just help you shift your ideals around charging and help you not build a business with your talents that's going to lead you to burnout like I did. So quick recap of the identity points. It's so easy, so it's not valuable. People won't pay for that. bogus. Ease is mastery. It's evidence of that, not of the opposite. I don't want to be salesy or pushy. That's cool. You don't have to be. We have to just organize your business in a way that allows you to speak with your content, to reach your ideal people without having to sell yourself. Hint, show up, be yourself, share what you love, find your people. There's a little more to that, but for the sake of simplicity, that's the gist. I need more ideas. I need more knowledge. I need more information. I need more. You don't. You need to make more decisions. Okay, practice making decisions. That decision will give you more evidence. That evidence will lead to better decisions. And along the journey, you go, my friend. I should be further along by now. Shaming yourself is not going to get you further ahead. Loving yourself through this will every single time. You're where you need to be. Keep moving forward. I don't want my life to revolve around social media, Jack. It's all good, my friend. As a matter of fact, it's so good that we can create 30 pieces of content that you can schedule out, rinse, and reuse over and over and over again. And to my friends who are saying, I know I am capable of more, but I just do not see it. I don't see how it's possible. I don't see how I could do it. I don't know. I would like to tell you that potential does not pay you. Decisions do. And I'm here to help you make good decisions. So here's the truth. Undercharging is not a confidence issue, my friend. It's an identity and a structure issue. And I hope that I have helped you see and identify which of the identities you can shift around in order to turn that talent into income. From there, we just need the structure, from circling and minimizing to deciding and being supported at it, my friend. And this is where I would like to make you an offer. So if you have stuck with me this far, I am super excited. I'm thankful that you are here with me. I love to help you all in your business, to help you organize your thoughts and talents so that you can take action on them. The reality in life, though, is that it takes money. And I want to talk about money for a second. Not survival money, not just enough money, but like money, well-resourced woman money. Okay? Because that kind of money gives you options. That kind of money lets you say no. That kind of money allows you to not explain yourself, okay? It allows you to do more. And that comes from owning that inner authority, owning who you are, at least in the moment, and like full permission to grow and change. I certainly have over my business journey. Those of you who've been in my world for a while, you know I have had multiple businesses that I have grown and scaled and changed and shifted and shut down and grown new ones and all the things. Okay, so you could say I've learned quite a bit along the way. And what I've learned is that when you have a clear offer, you know exactly who it's for. You know exactly how to speak to that person in order to convey the value of your offer, and you show up regularly with that message, you are going to make sales. You are going to grow your business. And we can do it in a way that's strategic and helps it build on building, grow, and scale so that you don't end up hustling and burning out. And so this is exactly the work that I do inside Slay Your Sales. Slay Your Sales is a program that I ran several years ago as a 5-day intensive where I worked with people one-on-one to build out their offer, create the messaging, map the client, and build out the content. And so it's something that I brought back because it really exists for talented creators who are done circling their income level and want to scale without more effort. We're here to get more strategic. It's not about learning how to like post better. And it's not about forcing yourself into strategies that don't fit you. It's about translating your talent into a clear, premium, scalable offer and solution for your ideal buyers. So I have two options for this. There is a full done for you option of Slay Your Sales where I come into your business. We sit down, we talk about your offer. We figure out exactly who it's for. We build out the offer. We figure out exactly who it's for. We design the messaging that speaks exactly to that client. We use different types of content for that, which, I'm happy to talk about if you would like. But It's me and you in your business working through every facet of your offer so that we can understand exactly how to sell it and get it sold. I come in, we do the content, we do the messaging map. I give you 30 pieces of content that nail your pillars that you can rinse and reuse over and over again. You can post these to a scheduler and have the social media content go out automatically. This work, once it's done, can really be rinsed and reused. Now, listen, obviously you always have to be in your business looking at the trends and deciding what will be new and fresh, but you will always have this core for your offer that you can use over and over again. And so this is for the woman who really wants clarity and direction without guesswork, who is ready to build absolutely right now. The other option is the DIY version. And so the DIY version is for someone who wants to move on her own timeline. It gives you the framework, the clarity, and the structure to, again, define your ideal offer. You get the same course as the done for you. The difference with the DIY option is you get access to my AI to help you build out your offer instead of having me in your offer, building it out with you. So these are two offers really of the same program that really just allow you to decide what level of support that you would like. And so I want to invite you, if this is something that feels good for you, if you want to really get your offer off the ground and going, if you want to do it in a way that feels really good for you, that doesn't leave you scrambling, that doesn't leave you up in the air about what it is to do next. So you always know what to do next. You always know what to post. And, having mentorship is always good for morale. I will say that. I can tell you that just being in spaces with women who are like-minded and who want to grow versus being in spaces of people who want to complain about things that don't go right can make a huge difference. Like, perspective is so big and so important and really allows, I think, for those little 2-degree shifts to happen even faster when we're willing to just change our perspective, look at an alternate perspective, see things a little bit differently. And sometimes my different personas do that for me. Analytical Jackie looks at things differently than barefoot in the garden Jackie, right? One of them is maybe a little more optimistic and the other one is a little more data driven. And all of that gets to be okay because we bring it all together when we build this business and this offer to make sure that it really feels like you and it really feels like something you can execute. The fun thing about this, I'll tell you a little story. I've done this for several clients now and the feedback has been great. The ease of execution, I think is one of the most important things. Like, this not only feels like home for me, but I know exactly what to do and I can show up and execute it. For one business owner, we got so much clarity that she decided this is actually not even what I want to do. And that is the power of decision making. That is an example of a woman in her personal power who is guided intuitively by her own desires, by her own talents, by her own, wants and dreams and her own life. And I was, even though like everything that we built was basically for nothing, I was so proud of that moment because that means we nailed our job. That means that we described what is involved in having success in this business model so perfectly that she realized this is not even it. This is exactly amazing. And it's not what I want to be doing. And she pivoted her business almost immediately. And so this is the power of clarity, my friends. This is the power of making decisions and then using that data in conjunction with what feels right for you to make decisions that help us grow and scale and get better and better. So, questions. Let me know in the comments what questions you have. I will pin the Slayer sales information to the comment section of this thread as soon as possible. And I'm going to check in here for comments because I want to see if we have any questions. Okay. What I would like to tell you is that you absolutely can use the talents and the gifts that come naturally to you, that may even, dare I say, come easy to you, to monetize, make money, grow your own skills, grow your income. And I also want you to know that what you're doing right now might not be the end destination. Sometimes we put a lot of pressure on the right next thing, and we forget that we are in fact on the journey. So I want to encourage you to adopt a little trust. Can you believe in yourself long enough to see this through? And if the answer is yes, but, drop in the comment, what is the thing that you would need? What is the thing you would need to know? What guarantees would you need to have in order to believe that you can, in fact, turn your talent into income? Because that is great evidence as to what's in your way. So really think about that. If you're struggling to believe that you can, in fact, charge for your talents, that you can be paid at the level that you would like to be paid for your gifts and talents, and there's a yeah, but that comes up, a little red light, let me know in the comments what it would take for you to have full belief in yourself. Full belief that you could do it. Full belief that it would work for you. And then I'm happy to come back and help you move through that, because that is really the thing that's in your way. That is the thing that is the difference between you giving away your talents and you being paid for them. And again, you get to do both. This is not about being selfish, and every transaction in my life is always goal to be win-win. I always want everything, every sale, every service, every opportunity, every experience to work with me to be a win-win situation for me and for them. And for me, that only supports the concept of being a well-resourced woman who then gets to use those resources to do and give more. I hope this masterclass landed for you. I'm so thankful that you're here and part of my community. I'm thankful that I'm able to share my knowledge, my experiences to help you move through things faster, create your business stronger, faster, create more income for yourself, use your talents to do that, and bring more joy into your life. Really, this life is about living. And so when we can use our gifts, the things that are easy for us, come naturally to us, that we really love to do, and we can make money doing it, we are surely on track for a great life. Thank you for being here. Let me know in the questions, in the comments. The comments are still open for questions, so feel free to drop any of them, and I will see you soon.